Welcome back to the Mani and Freya show. I am here by myself today. Mani's sending you lots of love and hugs and kisses because we miss you. So as I said before the break, we are now live with Mr. Armin Shafie. Hello, welcome.
Pleased to be here.
Very good. And we would like to know all about your recent trip to Miami. And more so than that, how you attracted it into your life.
Attracted. That's an interesting word, actually. A lot of people misconceive it as like, don't do anything and just comes into your life. I wouldn't say attract, more so create. I did create because there was action required. But essentially what happened was, you know, I've been working full on for the past, 3, 4, 5 months, just working on building my seminars called Reborn. And every single day I'm just working at it. So people see me, I just don't sleep. Like that's all I do, right? So last week I'm in the middle of working and there was a series of events that occurred around this topic of Miami. Now, for a long time, I'm a big fan of palm trees.
Yes.
So if I go anywhere with palm trees, I'm a happy guy. And I thought of, why not go to Miami? So it seems like a really cool place.
Lots of palm trees there.
Lots of palm trees there. And, my head was kind of set on that from a year ago. But it wasn't really that, serious. I just thought, it'd be really nice. But in the past 10 days, I had a series of events happen around the idea of Miami. And then I got a gift to go, an opportunity to go to Miami. You got a gift to go. It was a gift to go to Miami. And I'll tell you the scenarios that happened. I was creating a presentation, and on one of the slides, for example, I unconsciously chose the city of Miami to put in the background because it looked really nice. That was one. And then when I was hanging, it was my father's birthday recently, so when we were all together, there was music videos playing in the back. And when I noticed the screen, the music video had Miami on the background. I didn't know it was Miami. And my brother's girlfriend looks at me and says, "You don't know where this is?" I'm like, "Where is it?" She's like, "Miami." I'm like,
so
wow.
All these signs from the universe.
Yeah, and she's like, "You really have to go. You haven't been, eh?" And I'm like,
I'll go.
Time. Yeah, I'll go one day. 2 days later,
yes,
I'm sitting there and I'm just thinking, God, it is cold in Toronto. And I get a call from a friend and he says, "I got 2 tickets to Miami. We got to go, but this weekend." And my entire nervous system responded. I'm sitting there like, how am I going to do this? You can't just get up.
Happen,
I can't stand up and leave, right? Yeah, right? So now I have, obviously I'm humbled and I'm honored that I have a structure of a business where I can work mobily everywhere. But it still wasn't realistic to just get up and leave. So I kind of thought about it, and in less than 24 hours, my flight was booked and I was going to go.
You made it happen.
I made it happen. So
it
was quite an experience. It's really a beautiful thing.
Well, what it sounds like, Armin, is that you truly live life on your own terms. And I'm sure that there are many people out there who also want to live life on their own terms. Right. So how do you create that for yourself?
You have to be so clear in what you want. I suffered a long time in my life on not knowing what I want. Just switching from thing to thing to thing. And some of my friends and relationships in the past, they know what I mean. Thing to thing to thing, and I was a jack of all trades. I was really good at anything I touched because I knew how to really put full force into something the moment I started it. Yeah. But there was no longevity because I never knew how to commit to something because I didn't know if it's what I really wanted. So I really hated the idea of trying to actually write down and create my life because I always had this fear, which most people actually have, and I deal with it now with people in my seminars and even one-on-one when I work with them. They have the fear of making the wrong choice. And
I think a lot of people can relate to that.
A lot. And I asked them, I said, "You know where it came from, right?" And they say, "Well, I don't know, where?" I'm like, "School." Now, I'm a big fan of education, self-education especially, and I think schools create lots of opportunities for people. But it does mess up a little bit of the expectation of the real world.
And what you're talking about is institutionalized education.
Right. So what happens in school in the classroom when you get get the wrong answer on the test? You get a bad mark.
Yeah.
What happens if you get too many wrong answers?
And the humiliation that follows.
Exactly. You fail a test if you get too many wrong answers. And it's not a pretty sight after that, especially depending on your ethnic background of where you come from. So
you could get slapped around, couldn't you?
They get conditioned into their body that you can't make a bad choice, you can't make a bad choice, and you start producing fears. So now in the real world, me and you both know, for real, in the real world, it's completely opposite. There is no reality where anyone in a business and as an employee or anything, in the career opportunity of the world, where they just go and make things happen and they succeed from the start. You need to fail to learn. Failure equals learning. You have to make the mistakes to learn or learn from others. But then you have your own mistakes on that path as well. So, I meet all these people and they have the fears to make decisions. And I had that as well, and that's why I suffered from lack of clarity.
So your first tip sounds like be clear about exactly what it is that you want.
Absolutely.
And there's actually a quote that once a decision is made, the universe conspires to make things happen.
Right, absolutely.
And it seems like the evidence is in your experience of going to Miami.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's just one thing, right?
Yeah.
There's so many things I could list that I have set the intention for, and because I was just definite in what I wanted, and because my actions were in alignment with what I was thinking.
A correlation must exist.
Absolutely. It all came to fruition, like I created it, right? And it's an attraction too, because I didn't create my friend getting the opportunity to take me, right? It was more like I did attract that, but I created it from the series of events and actions and milestones I hit myself, where I reached a point where I believed I deserved it, and it came into my life. So my first
So belief sounds of paramount
100%.
importance.
So if I were to bring it down in steps, my first thing would be you need to get painfully specific with what you want and clear, and you have to, by doing so, you have to conquer the fear of making the wrong choice. Here's an easy way to conquer that fear. You have to replace the belief system of if I make the wrong choice, it equals pain, with if I make the wrong choice, I learn anyway. Because the most successful
That's a
CEOs,
mindset.
exactly, the most successful CEOs in the world, none of them believe failure is a bad thing. They all believe it's just the way you produced a different outcome. And I could change the way I produce my outcome. So it's either I win or I learn. You know, I've been saying that for like 5 or 6 years now, ever since I started my first business. And now I really, really know what that means. So that would be the first step, conquering the fear of making the wrong choice, and just knowing whatever choice you make anyways, you're going to win because you're doing something. It's better than doing nothing.
Either you're learning or you're winning.
Exactly. And the second step
Which
would
is
be
win-win.
Yeah, exactly, right? There is no lose. There's just learn. And the second step would be absolute belief. Belief comes from, and you know, when I was younger and I went through the near-death experience I came out and all I did was learn about thought biology and thought mechanics, how to manifest
I don't think people
things.
are familiar about your near-death experience.
Right. So when I was 18 years old, I went, it was like 3 in the morning and I'm driving home. I fell asleep behind the wheel. And I went straight into a utility pole, and it nearly took my life. I mean, if there was a passenger seat next to me, they would not be here right now. But coming out of that, I went through a process where mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, I completely was reborn. That's what the seminar that I created was called.
That's what the seminar is called, Reborn.
Exactly. Because I believe, like, if you really want to rip out the purpose that you have inside of you and strip away all the BS or the over extra layers you have, you have to really think from an extreme term of, if I was about to die, what would I really care about? And you have people coming out, and this is how I challenge people. I say, if you were about to die right now, would you be happy? And usually there's things missing. And the things that are missing are the things they care about the most. And they're the things that they're not working towards. So go figure, you're feeling unfulfilled.
I've experienced some of your conversations with people where we were at a birthday dinner together. Right. And you asked the person, what is their favorite musician?
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I'm not quite sure. I like so many genres. And then you said, well, if you only had 6 months to live, which one would you want to meet?
Yeah.
And they got real specific, real fast.
Very specific. I mean, look, the brain is just an autoresponder. It's not there to really help you out in life or make you happy. It's just there to respond to everything you're giving it. So the moment I ask a very specific question or a strategic question, I get a strategic, specific answer. So, you know, when it comes down to if you only had one choice, gun to your head, you had to choose, you usually say the thing you want the most. And that's what most people suffer from. I suffer from it my whole life, from just being afraid of making a decision. And indecisiveness is the mother of all procrastination. It is the reason why you don't manifest things in your life. It's the reason why you don't start things. Just indecisiveness is a poison, I believe, in the mind. Decisiveness, however, can create miracles when you have actions to back it up and when you have utter belief in what you're deciding to do. And knowing that the belief is you either win or you learn.
Or you learn.
Right? So belief systems are an interesting thing. If I were to say the second step towards creating a life where you could just get up and leave wherever you want, because it's not even monetary sometimes. You know, I have the freedom with my lifestyle to be able to do it because I have a business that's virtual and I can go mobily anywhere and work still online. You know, some people might have a lot of money, but they have a career or a job where they can't leave. So it's not even monetary based, it's more towards the lifestyle you're creating. You know, 97% of the world doesn't have the ideal lifestyle they want. So the belief system you need to be able to create a life like that has to be very strong. And it has to be self-certainty, right? You have to know that if you want something, you're going to get it. And there's no option where you don't. Like, you have to keep changing your approach until you get it. Or else it won't happen.
There's something else that you said in previous conversations, and that is that assume that everything that you say is right.
Right. Because you most likely are. And it's funny you bring that up because I raised like a YouTube video discussion off it years ago. And this was prior to even getting the knowledge I had towards all these kind of scientific, psychological, behavioral pattern education I got. And back then I just thought as a concept, what if everything you said you pretended that you were right about it? What would you want to be right about?
Yeah.
Would you want to be right that, this opportunity might not work out, or this guy's trying to screw you over, or this girl's up to something, or this guy's up to something? Would you want to be right about it, or is that your ego or your fear speaking to try to protect you?
Right?
Exactly, to try to protect you. And it's funny what happens to people when they think, if I was right no matter what I said, what would I want to be right about? And usually you see them being the most optimistic person in the world because you don't want to be right about anything that's not working out to your benefit.
For sure.
So belief systems work that way.
All right, amazing. So when and where can we learn more about everything that you have to offer? Because it's very fascinating and, of course, very helpful.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I want to, if anyone's interested in just learning more about, how and what I do, I would direct everyone to at least my Facebook. On my Facebook, I like to share a lot of things. I mean, I'm coming out with video content. Yeah, you provide
lots of value.
Lots of value. And I give access to a lot of exclusive things I'm coming out with. That would be facebook.com/Armin Shafee, and that name would be spelled ARMIN SHAFEE. Contrary to everyone always spelling it wrong. But on there, I'm going to be releasing, for example, something in the next coming weeks called the 60-minute morning method. I am a huge advocate of proactivity. If you're reactive in life, it's one thing. My entire business in terms of helping people one-on-one in my seminars is reactive or responsive training. So what's already happening in your life and how can you change it? How can you change the way your body's responding to it, your mind, to be able to get the result you want? But more than that, I mean, if you really were proactive, you don't really need to wait to respond. I mean, most people get sick and then they take medicine, right?
True.
But what about the people who just eat really well? And take care of their body, they'll never get sick.
Prevention is better than cure, right? So it's like in every aspect of your life, if you're prepared, if you're proactive, then you don't have to look for the cure.
Exactly. So, I mean, how I become proactive is I actually have, I don't hope my day goes well, I demand it. So I have a 60-minute morning method. Every single morning, I break the 60 minutes into 20 minutes, 20 minutes, 20 minutes.
And we can learn all about this process because you'll be sharing it on your Facebook page.
Yes.
So thank you so much, Armin Shafee, for being here with us and your positivity and all these tips that we can use and implement in our own life in a very proactive manner. We will be back shortly after our break. We've just been speaking with Mr. Armin Shafee, and for more tips as well as information about his upcoming seminars, you can go to his Facebook page, and we will also have it on the Mani and Fariha Show Facebook page. I'll be back with you soon.